Okay, we are going to finish up 5-6 with, yesterday we looked at how to find the missing sides and angles, again, of not a right triangle, and when an angle and its opposite side are not given. We had kind of and if all sides were given. So now we're going to take that same type of a triangle, and instead of finding the missing angles and the missing sides, we're actually going to calculate the area involved in that triangle. Okay, so let's just do a little refresher. And if I have just your basic triangle, and this base is 10, and this base is 8, what would the area of that triangle be? Because it's 1/2 base times the height. So my area would be, what'd you guys say? 40. Absolutely. That works because my height is given and a base. But when we have a triangle that is not a right triangle, so to speak, or the area, or the height is not given, what the heck do we do? Well, have no fear. We have a rectangle triangle. We have a triangle that we're going to find the area of. We take 1/2, not the corresponding sides of whatever angle is given, so side B, side C, times the sine of angle A, and then each one of these is set up specific to whatever angle is given and the opposite sides that are stated as well. What I need you to do, this cannot get any simpler, you will definitely need a calculator, is you do need to write out the formula, because if the only thing that you do is strictly grab your calculator and type it in when you're taking the quiz, but you happen to end up with the wrong answer, every point, let's say this is worth 4 points, boom, minus 4 points, because you didn't show me your work. And I'm not saying that to make a headache or to give you more work. I'm saying it to save you some points. So let's write it out. So we're going to say the area of a triangle is 1/2 times, and this happens to be angle A, so I'm going to use this first one, but again, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter which one because they're all set up the same. I'm going to take the side times the other side times the sine of the angle in which is given, that angle A that's given. And once you have that written out as 1/2 times side B, side C times the sine of angle A, now you can type that directly into your calculator. And since it's area, we are finding the square unit. The unit happens to be feet, so we say square feet. Okay. Mrs. Meyer, any more than that?
Yes.
That's it, okay, when you're finding the area. Now, the one thing you need to understand is if angle is given. So this is if an angle is given, we use this, okay? So that's the first area that we're learning. If an angle is given, we use that one. But if no angle is given, we use the second area down below. Now this is, we use this if no angle is given. Just sides of a non-right triangle. This area has 2 steps. Okay, this area has 2 steps. The first step is finding the semi-perimeter. The second step is actually then calculating the perimeter. Or excuse me, what is that called? That is called the area. So the first step is finding the semi-perimeter. The second step is using that semi-perimeter in the formula for the area. It looks a little complicated, but trust me, it is not, as long as you're paying attention, okay? So we're going to find the area of this triangle with sides. Notice no angle is mentioned. So we're strictly using the two-step area. So the first step, we are going to calculate the semi-perimeter denoted with an S. We're just going to take all three sides, add them together, and then divide by 2. You must include the parentheses if you're doing it all in one step on your calculator. Otherwise, it will only take 14 and divide it by 2. So you have to take 10 plus 12 plus 14, all in parentheses, and divide it by 2. And you should get 18. If you do not get 18, double check to make sure you have your parentheses. Okay? Then the second step is actually calculating the area itself. And if you notice, the formula for finding the area of a triangle with just the sides given has an S included. The S is the semi-perimeter that we just found. So we're going to take under the radical sign, we're going to take the semi-perimeter, which is 18, times 18 minus side A, and it does not matter the order in which you call A, B, and C. So don't worry about, well, which do I, how do I know which is which? That doesn't matter as long as it's being subtracted from the semi-perimeter. So then you have 18 minus 10, 18 minus 12, and 18 minus 14. All of that under the radical sign. And if you type it in exactly as it's written, you should get 58.79 square units. Because we do not have a unit measurement given, we're just going to put it down as square units. So the thing to remember on this back page finding area, you need to stop and look. Is an angle given? If the angle is given, you use the top one. If the angle is not given, then you use the two-step finding the semi-perimeter first.